Here come the crows flying over. And in the background you might even hear a chainsaw. I'm the only one in camp right now. There is one other camper, but he stays about a week. He comes down here and contract works and stays here while he's here. So that way he saves money on a room. You know, all you're doing is sleeping. You don't need to have all the luxury. And I'm here another, I think, 4 days till the 17th. Then I'm going to go across the river. My current plans, Lord willing, is to go across the river and stay there for 3 days, and then I come right back here again. And I've already booked here, so I've gotten everything taken care of except for those 3 days till the end of the year. So I'll be able to spend Christmas here. Now, of course, I'm going to go in town and spend Christmas Day with my son. And we're going to do something similar to what we did for Thanksgiving. I'll just go get enough ingredients for 2 people. It's a very quick and easy meal. I haven't decided if I want turkey, though. We did turkey for Thanksgiving. I might do ham for Christmas. I'm not Jewish. I can do ham. I'd like to have maybe a goose or a duck, but then I got to cook those. So if I can find one that's pre-cooked, I did it with the turkey. I got the pre-cooked turkey breast. If I can get a pre-cooked turkey or a goose or a duck, I'll have that for Christmas. I'm all in favor of even having lobster tail for Christmas. I'm not Jewish, so I can have lobster. They're not supposed to eat bottom feeders. Shrimp, lobster, any of that kind of stuff. Shouldn't eat catfish. Anything that's eating off the bottom is picking up the garbage that's there, and they get rid of a lot of it, but there's always some of it in their meat. Okay, we're going to do this is my last on the series of Christmas. We've looked at all sides of it. This last video is about Christmas around the world. Keep that in mind. It is around the world. December 25th it may be a day off depending on the positioning and where the calendar fits. But Northern Hemisphere, where everything is basically centralized, we think about everything. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. They don't sing that in December south of the equator. So we're going to look at Australia first. I've never been to Australia, so I'm just reading this. I have been to Hawaii. We'll get to that in a bit. In Australia, Christmas comes towards the beginning of the summer holidays. So that's how they get ready for it. Where is my mouse? I couldn't find my mouse. The sun's coming at me again. I'm trying to get it on my face instead of a dark face and I can read. I'm suffering through this with you. Okay, children have their summer holidays from mid-December to early February. You know, we have summer off where everybody goes to the beach, or it says here that they might even be camping. Voila. So I'm doing that. I'm celebrating the Australian way. Okay. When he gets to Australia, Santa, and this is a modern Christmas point of view, we know why it's there. Okay. We know it's about Christ, his birth, his life, his sacrifice, and our redemption. That's the reason for celebrating Christmas. But it's been hidden. But don't let the accoutrements destroy your idea of Christmas. Christmas is still there. And it's not his real birthday, so it doesn't really matter as long as we pick a day. And Satan's gone in here and confused everything, but that's all right. It's relatively harmless, which when it comes to Satan is not saying anything comforting, but it's relatively harmless. Now, if you were drawing pentagrams on Christmas, then I think that would be a problem. Santa is another name for saint. So it's close. So don't go panicking about it. Santa doesn't deliver Christmas presents down a chimney. We know that. but there really was a Saint Nick. So it's based on tradition. Okay. Santa sometimes gives the reindeers a rest and might use kangaroos pulling a sleigh. Well, they could help carry their presents. They got built-in pouches for carrying presents, so why not? Makes sense to me. He also changes his clothes for less hot ones. I'll tell you what the Hawaiian Santa wears. Children often leave out carrots for Santa's reindeer. And there might be some cake for Santa. Maybe a carrot cake. Okay, you can make fun of this. It's all in fun and games. Somebody driving through the camp. And there might even be some cold beer left out for Santa, because of course we know who Santa is, the kids don't. And so some cold beer on a hot day. This would be no good up here. I wouldn't want a cold beer today. I think we might be getting to 58 degrees today. I don't know. That's one of the other rangers. A lot of times this might be a non-alcoholic beer, but frankly, if you're going to drink beer, drink real beer. I don't drink, but if I did, I'd want real beer, not the fake stuff. I drink real coffee, not decaf. Same reason. Okay, in France, which is on the northern side of the planet, so a nativity crib is often used to help decorate the house. I posted a picture today about a king's crib. Well, they would put something like that out in the house where we may have all the other decorations. They use a crib. During the December, some of the towns and cities might have fairs that sell nativity scenes, like Marcel's and other places that might put these fairs on. And they might have a normal nativity out some places with figures in them, but they might also have other characters in there too. Like there might be a butcher, a baker, a policeman, or a priest. It's a celebration, so people celebrate differently. I'm going to really mess up the pronunciation on some of these, but in French, Happy/Merry Christmas is Joyeux Noël. Well, we know Noel, the first Noel, the song. I have a decoration that I used to put up in the house. It was spelled N-O-E, capital N, little o, and little e. This is my sense of humor, guys. He says, well, where's the L? Well, there's Noel in Noel. Okay. So that's northern France. It might be Niddeleg Lauen or Bon Nutella. All these other different pronunciations, I'm not even going to begin. This one's got the two dots above the U and the E and then a little hat over the A, and I'm not even going to pronounce that. But you could say Christmas in many languages. Feliz Navidad, I can say that one, because they have a song about that. One of the biggest Christmas markets in Europe is held in Strasbourg, northern France. And it's called Christkindlesmarkt. Christkindlesmarkt. Okay. In Madagascar, it's an island off the east coast of Africa, so it's very warm. It depends on which part of Africa we're at, because it's a big continent. But obviously, south. Even though it's hot, common decorations include holly, robin, snow, even though none of them exist in Madagascar. So they can just bring this stuff in and they sell it to the people who want to decorate. Most people go to church on Christmas Eve in Madagascar. The services start about 5 p.m. and last until after midnight. Christmas around the world. And children perform songs and do plays celebrating the birth of Jesus. People also go to church on Christmas Day as well. After Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, those services. Got to get the church service in first, and then they go back to church. Got to get the family stuff in first, and they go back to church. And churches give out sweets or biscuits to the people as they come into church. Okay. In Hawaii, and I've seen this because my sister, when she was alive, lived there, and I would go visit. Santa rides in on an outrigger, and it's got the little outriggers. Those are the pontoons that stick out from the boat. That's to keep it stable. It's called an outrigger. That's the name. He'll come riding up on the beach. He's got little red shorts and typically like a red T-shirt type, red and white T-shirt, and a hat. And he's carrying a bag of goodies, and he goes into the restaurant that's right there on the beach. He may hand stuff out on the beach, but then he goes into the restaurant, which is called the Outrigger Club. It's a members-only club, and my sister and her husband had a membership. So I've been in there. Good food. And I drank back then, and so you'd have a nice summer drink. Even though it's December in Hawaii, it's 60, 70 degrees. It's not freezing like it is here. There's other traditions for Christmas all around the world. It's usually a large meal, some kind of a gathering. It's like Thanksgiving. Sometimes you can only travel one holiday or the other. Most of the world will travel Christmas. Thanksgiving is strictly an American holiday. And the British don't like to be reminded of it. So anyhow, there might even be surfing competitions on Christmas Day in Hawaii. And they have music out there, and they may have the traditional Hawaiian garb and the ukuleles, but they may also have just a rock band out on the beach playing music and everybody dancing. More likely, I've heard the music in the Outrigger Club, not on the beach, but you could have any of that. And just think of The Rock when you think of the area, because he's from there and has done his movies about that. Anyhow, the idea is to just get together and have a good time, celebrating the birth. They didn't do this in the 1st and 2nd century. They didn't celebrate birthdays. You haven't done anything yet to deserve celebrating on a birthday. They would celebrate the end of somebody's life because they've got their life achievements to look back at. Now, Jesus didn't live very long, 33, but we celebrate his life achievements every time we get a chance. Certainly you can celebrate them on his birth, even though they didn't. See, you don't have to follow, this is not a biblical rule that you do this. This is simply something that we do because we enjoy gathering and celebrating, singing Christmas songs. We used to travel around in the back of a pickup, caroling. Now, there were people that actually had a voice. I might have been able to sing when I was little. I can't now. I've had nose surgery, and I sound so weird. I know we always sound weird anyway, but I sound so weird that I can't even stomach it. So I don't even try nowadays. I lip sync very well. If you need another band that lip syncs, I can join that. I know how to play the guitar. I just can't sing, so it's almost useless playing the guitar. Did you hear that cracking? That was a big tree falling down. I have to go see what they cut down. They get the pine trees, get a pine beetle here, and it kills them. And they eventually will fall down on their own, but they might harm somebody. So sometimes the rangers have to come in and take them down just so that there's safety issues there. They were cleaning up some along the road. If they come out over the road, they got to keep them back. They were doing that just up here a little while ago, but that was a big tree somebody cut down. I've watched them cut down trees. I've cut down big trees. When I say big, That's 16 inches or so. You throw a rope over the top of it. I've done this, top of a branch, and you use a winch, come along, and you tie it to the rope, and you start pulling the tree. You bend the tree in the direction you want it to fall, and as you're cutting it, it will fall. As you keep tightening the rope up, it will fall in the direction of the rope. I fell a tree right through. I had a single wide gate. I opened the gate up, and I fell the tree right through it. So if you know what you're doing, it's okay to do stuff. One of the rangers here just came back from chainsaw school. They're not allowed, it's government, they're not allowed to operate a chainsaw until they go to school to learn how to operate a chainsaw. And then they're told, okay, go out and cut trees down now. She started with little trees and working her way up. If you got lots of room to drop them, there's no problem. Around houses, that's the problem. You might have to call a tree surgeon to come out and cut the tree down. They're licensed and insured. If it's a big tree, I would have somebody do that. I might go up and cut all the branches off and just let them fall the main part of the tree. But a lot of these trees here, if you look at them, there's not a lot of branches on the sides. Typically, they got to get up to the canopy where the sun's hitting, and then that's where the leaves come out. Pine trees do that a lot. There's not a whole lot coming down the sides because there's not a lot of sun. Now, where I'm at, these are all hardwoods. I won't stay in the pine area, which is on the other side, because there's at least 2 trees in there that I keep telling them to take down, and they've got to really justify it. The government doesn't want you cutting trees. They don't care if 10 people get killed. They care more about the tree than the 10 people that it might fall on. But if you can justify it, you can then do it. But you can't sit there and just go cutting trees. I cut all my trees down. I'm off on a tree subject. Cut all my trees down on my property because they all had pine beetle, and I took pictures of them. So I'd have that for anybody who cared. So anyhow, people go out, and all 50 states grow pine trees for Christmas. Even Hawaii, they grow pine. They've got an observatory up on a snow-capped mountain over there. So they're not all beach. But they grow pine trees just for Christmas. There's a place here in town. It's a nursery. You basically will rent the tree. They will bring it out to you, put it in place in a pot. You decorate it, take care of it, water it. There's instructions. When they're over, they come and pick it up, take it back to the nursery, and eventually it will get planted someplace for real. People that mine pine, and they mine, there are places where they grow pine trees, and they have different levels, different years. They don't have them all the same year, because if you cut them down, you plant them, and you cut the next 20 acres down, and then you plant those, so they'll be there for the next, in 10, 20 years they get to that. If you've got a large enough area, you can just keep doing that. And that's essentially what they've done. They've gone into areas where there's nobody living, nobody wants to be there. South Georgia is a good spot for that. North Florida, places where people don't want to go, not on the coast, but inland, they grow trees like that, so they can kind of keep their business going, but it also replenishes the earth. Smart business. Hear that chainsaw again. I'll have to go over and look and see what they're doing. Okay, I'm going to keep this short since I'm wandering already. I just wanted you to know that people all around the world are celebrating, with the exception of the Muslim world. Satan has got them so bamboozled they don't know which way is up. And they're going to fight this war all the way to the end until the Antichrist comes in and puts a stop to it temporarily. You'll find an argument that they will accept. And it won't be good for Israel. And because they're looking for Jesus, the Muslims are. So are the Jews. Neither one of them agree with the Christians that he's already been here. They both think he has to come for the first time. So they're watching, they're waiting, both of them, and they will be ecstatic when the Antichrist shows up, because they don't have Christian spirit in them to recognize the Antichrist, and we won't be here because we would recognize him. That's our good news, that we're going to get out of here soon. The Antichrist is alive, the man. He's one of the kings. He has to die and then come back, be resurrected as the Antichrist. Now, where are we going to be during that timing? I don't know. Nobody does. And it's not because the Bible says nobody knows the day or the hour. That's the second coming. People who only know and learn one verse just so they can pull that when they can pull a feather out of their hat when they have somebody they don't want to talk to. No one knows the day or the hour. No one knows the day or the hour when the world's going to end. No one knows the day or the hour when Jesus is coming back. No one knows the day or the hour for the rapture. No one knows the day or the hour for his birthday. No one knows the day or the hour. Take your pick. Anything that they don't want to talk about God, they're going to quote that verse. And they have no idea what the meaning of it is. So I'm making sure that you do, that it's got to do with his second coming and the end, the very end, the day of the Lord. It's not the rapture. Now, does that mean we can figure out the rapture? People have been trying for a couple thousand years, and they've been wrong. People that are very knowledgeable of the Bible, that have all these timelines and they're doing all this stuff and have spreadsheets and calculated all this and can tell you how many angels can sit on the end of a pin if they all wore flippers. They can't get the rapture right. No matter how much they play around with numbers, they can't get the rapture right. Because we're not supposed to know. Because if we know, Satan will know. Satan thinks he's got one over on God right now. And when he does his thing, God's going to be ready for him. And we'll be out of here. Just keep working. Celebrate Christ's birthday if we get that far, and if we don't, we're celebrated in heaven. Wherever we celebrate it, it's okay. The angels in heaven will be singing, so we can sing with them. And I'll lip sync. All right. We're getting close to Christmas. I may, Lord willing, take a couple of days off around that time with no video. I don't know yet. I've got to move on the 17th to the 20th because I can only stay 2 weeks in a state park. I'm going to move to a county park for 3 days and then come right back. It's just on the other side of the river. It's 15, 20 minutes away. I'm not even going to take stuff out of my car. I'm just going to park my car for 3 days. So I might, and there's no internet, there's no power. So if I do a video, I'll have to drive it into town, upload it, and then come back. And it's 5 minutes into town, so it's not like I can't do that. We'll see what God has planned. I don't know. I'm going to spend Christmas with my son, so I got to drive an hour to do that, and then I'm going to fix a meal like we did. Try to get with your relatives and your friends, and if there's somebody you know who's in their home alone, bake them a pie, take it to them, do something. You know, your neighbors, if you know somebody's there by themselves, invite them over. If they don't want to come, take them a pie. If you're standing on the doorstep with the pie in your hand, they're not going to turn it down. They may tell you they can't eat. They're allergic to pumpkin. Well, have an apple pie. Make them choose. Leave them both if they want them, but let them choose. Kindness. That's how you know we're Christians. All right. Just hold on. We're not waiting too much longer. Everybody said it's going to have to be this year. Well, this year's not over. But then he said if it's not this year, it has to be next year. And that's it. Nobody's got any timelines past next year. They can't calculate any possibility past next year. So that would be the end of it. It's not bad enough for us yet, frankly, in this country. But it's getting there. And we're winning some small battles. The election is going to be a big telltale of what's going to happen in this country. Are they going to steal it again? Are they going to do something? Are we going to be attacked in such a way that they declare war, martial law, and take over? It's within their realm of possibilities. They haven't been. Biden could have pulled off anything he wanted to so far. He's really not doing it. And some of their followers are wondering why he hasn't done stuff already. It's not time. His puppeteers aren't ready yet. But they've got to be getting close, and they've got to be getting antsy, because their base is getting excited, and their base is getting antsy, and they have to give something to them. Be prepping. Have food so you don't run out if there's a gap. If our money goes shoop and it's worth zero, the markets may be open, but you're not going to have any money. Now, the government will bail you out with digital money, but that may not work right away. This is the government. They can't do anything right. So you need to hold on for a few days. If there's a tornado, a hurricane, some kind of a natural disaster, an earthquake, California's due for one. They've been due forever. You're on your own for 3 to 4 days anyway. They can't even get through the roads to get to you many times. So you always should have enough food for a week, period. Even in good times. If you don't have any, you buy a can of goods, buy 2 cans. A lot of them, they're buy one, get one free. Look for those all over the place. BOGOs. Take advantage of it. Frankly, I'd take advantage of it for everything they've got. I don't care if you don't eat Brussels sprouts. When you're hungry, you eat Brussels sprouts. Now, I like them, but I prefer them fried. Cut them in half. Maybe breaded, maybe not. But just fry them in some olive oil, garlic. Okay, I'm going to go eat lunch now. Blessings, everyone. Enjoy this time of year.